and welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are using this gorgeous kit called Bad Romance by Plannerface, and we are of course planning in my Harriet Wright Designs A5 undated planner. This week is the week of the 18th through to the 24th of April. It is some time ago. I am doing my very, very best to try and catch up on videos. I've actually had a week off this week, and the first day I was off, I did do quite a bit of planning. I did some more planning on the second day, so I've done quite a few videos, and I do have quite a few, I have quite a few videos lined up ready to edit and upload, which is good, which means my content will hopefully be back to, I guess, regular broadcasting, so to speak. But it does mean that I'm feeling quite exhausted, because even though I enjoy planning, because I'm putting such pressure on myself to get caught up and get these spreads done for you all, I'm already feeling a little burnt out, which isn't great because I love planning. I've been really enjoying, using the kits that I've pulled out, foiling, all of that stuff that I've missed because I hadn't planned in quite some time prior to doing these videos. But the demand for getting these videos out, not even by you guys, but just the demand and the pressure that I've put on myself has definitely left me feeling a little bit burnt out, like I said. And I don't know if anyone's ever felt this way, but I've had a week off of work, and between catching up on chores, running around and doing things, trying to catch up on my planner spreads, I just feel like I haven't really had a holiday. And then I know that when I go back to work next week, I'm going to feel like the week off never existed, and I hate that feeling. It's just the worst. But anyway, that was a really, really long way of saying that we're very behind and I am trying to catch up. For anyone who did watch my April kit lineup video, you will see that this kit was in fact subbed in at the last minute. So previously, and in my kit lineup video, you will see that I was using a kit for a friend's birthday for this week, which wasn't necessarily birthday vibes, but it was kind of like 90s vibes. And given said friend was born in the 90s, I figured that, well, I guess very early in the 90s, or on the brink of what you'd call 80s, 90s. I don't know. It's kind of in that weird gap between the 80s and the 90s. You're not really the 90s because you're so early in the 90s, but you're also not the 80s because you're just not. And I was going to use that particular kit for this week. But then, much like subbing in this kit very last minute and on a whim, the reason that I actually subbed this kit in was because very last minute and on a whim this particular week, a friend of my husband's actually told us that they had some spare tickets available for the Dracula's Cabaret show. For anyone who is an Australian, you will know that, or maybe you don't, but Dracula's Cabaret is basically a restaurant themed in the Brisbane area or in the Gold Coast area, and they do like dinners and a cabaret show as part of like their package, and you can go in and you get, Dracula themed cocktails and things like that. So it's very, very fun, and it's like a fixed permanent thing. Like, that is what they do. You go there, you get dinner and a show. But this particular event was like a sneak peek of that. So it wasn't obviously the dinner and a show. It was just the show part of the package, because they were doing like an Australian tour. And said friend had these 2 spare tickets and asked my husband if we wanted to go. And I think I decided on the Thursday that we were going to go, and the event was on the Saturday. And of course, Dracula, vampires, that kind of thing. I figured that I would use this kit. It did work out perfectly, although again, I kind of purchased the kit on a whim as well, just for the sake of using it for this particular week, because this kit is a kit that I had eyed off in Plannerface's store, or in Anna's store, for many, many, many months, and I just didn't know how or when I'd ever be able to use it. I honestly didn't think I would be able to, and then I sort of thought it would be a waste of my money to purchase a kit that I wouldn't be able to use. And the reason that I say that is, for anyone who has been watching my channel for a little while now, you will know that I genuinely try to line up my kits with different events. So For example, if I'm going to a wedding, I'm going to try and use a wedding kit. If there is a birthday, I'm going to use a birthday kit. If it's Christmas, I'm using Christmas, like that sort of thing. So when we made the decision to go to this show, I was like, you know what? As much as I really want to use that kit for my friend's birthday and celebrate my friend's birthday in my spread, in my planner, I can't speak, and I'm really annoyed because my dog is over there licking his feet out of anxiety, and I can't quite reach him, and I don't want to get up and stop the voiceover to go and disrupt him for him to then start and do it 2 seconds later when I sit back down again. So I'm conscious of that, and I'm a little bit distracted. And as you guys know, I generally cannot speak when I sit down to do these voiceovers. So that is my current life right now. But I knew that going to this show was the perfect opportunity to purchase this kit, and I was lucky enough to pick it up in the discontinue or sale section of Anna's website. I'm not sure if it's still available in her store because of that, but because I was also so behind in my planner spreads, I decided that I could purchase the kit. It would arrive in time, and I would be able to put this kit to use for this particular week, and it worked out wonderfully. I feel like that was a really, really long-winded. Anywho, so I don't know what else to tell you about this spread other than I absolutely love it. I feel like I just said absolutely. I feel like that's how I just pronounced that word. But anyway, honestly speaking, without any exaggeration whatsoever, I think this might be my favorite spread for 2022 so far. I think I've talked to a couple of people on Instagram, and I've kind of advised them that, not really advised them, we've been having a chat, and I've sort of said to them, look, I'm not in love with my spreads that I've done this year, and I don't know what it is because, again, for anyone who might have watched my earlier videos, you will know that I was doing a thing at the beginning of the year where I was trying to use my kits where I wasn't wanting to spend money, and I was just trying to get through the kits that I had in my sticker storage just to get them used, and some of them were really, really old formats, and I just didn't know how to plan with them and that sort of thing. So I feel like I started January on a high. Like I really, really enjoyed my January spreads, and then I feel like they just went downhill. And I think part of when I was planning out my kits for this year, I was kind of trying to transition them from one another. So, for example, if in February I used a pink and purple kit, when I moved on to the following week, I wanted to make sure that not only did it have its own theme and vibe and whatever else, but I wanted to make sure it included at least one of those previous colors, so either the pink or the purple. So I was trying really, really hard to have my kits sort of flow off the back of one another really easily, but then naturally events like birthdays and shows and things like that come up, and that doesn't always work. So then you're left with this, obnoxious kit in the middle of, for example, if you're planning in winter and you've got all these like pale blues and neutrals and like tan and taupe colors, and then you whack in a kit like this that's burgundy and aqua, is very in your face compared to the rest of them. So that hasn't worked out too well, but I've still been trying. And when I look back, like I said, January is really, really fun. And then the rest of the kits after that kind of seem to go really downhill. And as I mentioned in my talk through plan with me, which was the video before this one, I didn't even love my Easter spread. As much as I love the kit, I don't know what it was. I couldn't get my head around it, and I still don't really enjoy looking back at it. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether I just lost my planner mojo or I don't know. But even now I'm kind of like flicking through my spreads, and I'm underwhelmed, and I hate that feeling, particularly when I'm only doing this voiceover for an April video now, and we've still got like from here 8 more months in the year to go, and it's just, I don't know, here, like I really love this spread, and then, from here, I've only been planning like after this, like the last couple of days, and I feel like I'm picking up my groove again, but I don't know, and it makes me start to get to a point where I'm like, I want a new planner, I want to start again. But then obviously that's wasted money. And way, way, way on in my early planner career, so to speak, I went through, I think, 2 planners before I sort of buckled down and was happy with what I was doing. So definitely can't afford to do that again. So I'm just kind of trying from this point in to try and pick up the game again, get my mojo back, and just, have my planner look the way that I want it to look. In saying that, I am still trying to use up some of my old kits, trying to fit them with certain occasions and things like that, but we will see how we go. I still haven't done flip throughs for last year. I'm thinking about doing like a 6 monthly flip through of this planner so that it's not just all bombarded at the end of the year. But I don't really know. So if you have any suggestions or opinions on that, please let me know in the comments below. I have baffled on for long enough though, so let's go ahead and talk through this week. So as I mentioned, the highlight of this week was going to the Dracula's Cabaret show. But in my sidebar, as always, I've just tracked the same thing. So we've got my like favorite of all time. I don't know if you'll see it until the very end. You may not even see it then, but the top left hand corner, the decoration I've done there is just like perfectly subtle. I'm just obsessed with it. And then I've just tracked my socials, and the book that I was reading. So I started reading the Gone series by Michael Grant this particular week, and there's like, I don't know, I started reading it and I didn't realize that there were multiple other books as part of the series, which I've now ordered and have on hand. So that is really fun. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and before I forget, and before I jump on to Monday and talking through the plans, I am also using a really pretty old format, black sort of sequin style foil. And I don't know, part of me kind of thinks that maybe the foil is what brings me so much joy in this spread, because the spread is very sort of gothic, dark, vampire vibes, and then to bring in a really bold foil like a black paired with the burgundy color and the gold details of the kit, I think, I don't know, it just really worked for me and I really, really love it. I now only have 5 minutes to talk through the week, so let me do my best. But basically, Monday was Easter Monday, so I had the day off. I didn't really do much. I had way too much coffee, did some laundry, and then I went to see my mum for Easter because we hadn't seen her the day before. And we did have some pizza for dinner, and I did a Plan With Me upload. On Tuesday, I was off for Easter again, so I did only work the Wednesday through Friday. And again, I had coffee. I worked on editing and scheduling some YouTube videos. I did an Instagram post. I don't think I've done one since, but I did an Instagram post. I did some more laundry. I binge watched Sabrina, and we had some delicious crunch wraps. If anyone who is Australian who has not tried making crunch wraps at home, which are something that you get in Taco Bell in the US, I guess there are Taco Bell stores here now, but make them at home, try them. My husband makes them so well. They're so yummy and I absolutely love them. Wednesday, I was back at work. It was also my good friend Freya's birthday, so I've marked that at the top of the day on Wednesday. I did some cleaning. I wasn't feeling too great after work, so I just took some chill time on the couch, and I uploaded another video. And then on Thursday, again, I did work and do some laundry, and then I hung out on Twitch that afternoon. And then I also did some cleaning, some YouTube binging, and of course some reading of the Gone series I mentioned earlier. I feel like I'm just breezing through this because it was such a nothing week. Like, with the exception of the cabaret show, I didn't really do anything. And I feel like that's generally my Monday to Friday. But on Friday, I did, of course, go to work, and I did listen to Cold Case Files all day. And then after work, I was finishing my shell challenge, which, as I've mentioned before, is basically where someone builds the exterior of a building, and then you go ahead and furnish, do the interior decoration, landscape, and turn it into like a home or a community lot or something like that on The Sims. So I was working on that. Once again, I did more laundry, watched some more YouTube, and we did have pizza for dinner again, much to my dismay, but to my husband's joy. And we did watch a movie, but I didn't mark it in because I didn't actually record what it was. So I think I'm just going to go back in there and watched a movie. And then Saturday was the main event, which is why I've used the gorgeous black-haired vampire rather. And if you look, she's got a very subtle detail of like a blood dripping at the I was going to say side and corner, and I was going to say the corner of her mouth. So pretty much we had a really lazy morning. I just lazed on the couch all morning, scrolling my phone, social media, YouTube, that fun stuff. And then I've marked showering and getting ready. And then we met my husband's friend and his partner and group of friends in the city. And we went to dinner at a place called the Quarryman, and I did have some delicious halloumi tacos. I've talked way too much at the beginning, so now I'm trying to catch up, and I've got like 2 minutes to do so. So now I'm like breathless. Love that for me. That was really, really yummy. And then we walked, I think, 10 minutes, if that, down the road to the Star Casino, where we watched Dracula's Cabaret Show, which was very interesting. Some of the acts are very questionable. Obviously, I would not recommend for a younger audience, but it's very adult, you know. As my husband's friend described it, it's basically vampires and boobies. So there's women all done up with vampire teeth. They've got those corsets on, you know, they've got ample boob in your face. You can get cocktails that are sort of like vampire themed. But yeah, just very adult topics, adult entertainment essentially. Really good, but very interesting. And then we hung out at the casino after the show and had a really late night. Went to bed at God knows what time in the morning. And then on Sunday, like old people do, we were very tired, but we did have to get up early because we took my brother to work that day. So we did treat ourselves to some McDonald's breakfast, and I, of course, got some coffee. We did do a little bit of shopping. I took a nap when we got home, and then I did have some McDonald's for dinner. We watched The Batman with Robert Pattinson, and I did upload a video. But that is all that I have for you for this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.